And on my own behalf and my family, Pauline and the kids, some are grown now, the young men and women, you saw them, I think at the other funeral of your minister. And so, yeah, they all stand with this family, Alex. They all know you. And we don't want you to think we've come here for political gain or any reason. We came to bury one of us. Of course, like we came last year, we were here when we said kwaheri to Mama Agnes. Kone kukitumetukie. Nakaitu tungenga imobea maundune onde. Our spiritual leaders included. You know our position. And we know there are things we have to do. For example, Governor Mutula knows the party position. If the national president, the president of the republic, comes to makwiny, he has to be there. But the national president has to discuss, to actually agree and recognize that there are two governments, parallel governments, but they need each other. So that recognition is important. You gave condolences of Governor Wabinya, who had wanted to be here, because we know that there's a time president comes to Machakos, the governor cannot speak, and this is what makes people wonder, what is it? It's not a crime to be in opposition, because opposition ends up being the government in waiting, as indeed is the case. So we are so happy they brought out their very worst in this recent by-elections. We now know their game plan. There are no other games to play. And this country cannot be like any other country. Our brother, a senior brother, governor, professor, because professor said the students are telling him they don't want Kenya to be like Tanzania. Kenya will always be Kenya, because our young people have an inspired progressive revolution, not only in the continent, but the world over. And they've been watching. And you cannot steal for them. They're still very angry at Bishop. You need to own them, because they even have issues about the church on corruption. When a president comes and says, I'm giving you 120 million shillings, and we know his salary is just under 2 million, obvious disproportionate misuse of power, state power. That's what Munyao would never have done. So we were with him, of course, in NAC. I know our sister Charity would really have loved to be here, and she's out in the US. But you can see the example of NAC. That time nobody believed Kanu could lose. Kanu went on to lose. And let nobody deceive you, fellow Kenyans, until you can divide the opposition. The elements and the commitment and even the ideological positioning of who we are in opposition cannot be broken. When we were in court, and it was Weta, who is the speaker who read his eulogy here, and Raila and myself, before Musalia came and they talked about Nasa Hawa, ended up Kunaswa Wow. We used to say that the codes, it is biblical, bound by codes that cannot be broken. This is what this community is at Bishop, and I spoke to you after the last election, and you said, Kindu kimu kiume lile wazi, nimbaino ni nengete ndaya, nambaino ndi za ugudia, nambaino ndi kaa kunewe kelele ne mundu yoyote, mundu ebinda nebikie, tuibakube kuitika isi ukone, na Nondo kuone to either the names here. What is the name of this ngiloni? These people are very good in honey keeping, beekeeping. That's why they are the ngilo. Okay, one ngilo. Na we moyomo no. Yeah. By to vikie. By kusiokane tina. By mbeso na si by to know the integrity ya community no. Kana kuwa your party leader na ningo motonge ya mobea. Inyo ndo mama kuwene mwede wa mustale wambe. I want to say, Nangaya Mwadime, even as we say kwaheri to our cherished brother, and this family will hold together. Anything, Alex, you think we can do together, we are always there.